It's 2 points last season.
Two seasons in a row. Okay, the season before that, Uncle, when you guys were number one till
no,
for
the
90%
season,
of the season
before we didn't have Kai Havertz, didn't have the Clan Rice. That's what Gumi is saying. The team is building. We didn't have the Clan Rice, we didn't have Kai Havertz.
But you didn't have a strike.
So
but you did
after
it.
that,
You did it without them.
Hold on a second. After that season that the people say bottled it, I think I looked at the team, went and bought Kai Havertz, brought the Clan Rice. People were shouting, what's the Kai Havertz coming to do? Don't forget, for more than half of the season,
one of the biggest reasons why we got exposed a lot is a large part of the midfield. We were not tracking back runners, right? If you look at the goal, if you look at there was a I think there was one chance where Traore he beats Martinez on that right.
Yeah, we'll go to United hosting Fulham. That was actually the first game of the season at Old Trafford. We remember this time last year, United also hosted Wolves at Old Trafford. We, as a United fans out there, you know how that one went. A lot of United fans left that stadium early, though you guys won, but it was a very, very abysmal performance from United. But this time around, it looked different, and I think it was a very committed performance. United created chances, though they couldn't take a few of them. The copy being Bruno, of all people, one-on-one with the keeper 3 times, lost all 3 of them before the new boy Zirkzee came in and intelligently took his chance. Bamsey, as a United fan, what did you see differently from United of last season and what you saw yesterday? Is there anything new? What has changed?
I mean, obviously the defense looked better for sure than last season. Although there were some moments where I mean the one thing that I still saw at United from in our game versus Fulham that happened last season was we had that tendency to get broken upon. I mean, we have ball possession in the opponent's half. We lose possession, and it's suddenly 3 against 2. That still happens. That still happens at United, which I'm not expecting that should be automatically resolved immediately, just because we still need a couple players in that midfield that would affect that. But the big difference was the defense. The defense was definitely, we had a better defense for sure. Obviously, when you have Martinez coming back playing, he makes a big difference in that defense. And obviously, Mazwari, that guy is a baller, man. He's totally different from Wan-Bissaka. You can see the guy's ball control. He's not pressured. Like when he's under pressure, he's still calm. I don't think he put a foot wrong in that game at all. So that made a big difference. United did create chances. We just were not able to finish well enough. If we were able to finish, I think we should have scored more goals. But I won't say it was a great performance from United. It wasn't a great performance at all because for a large part of that game, we hadn't scored. It took a substitute from. It took 2 substitutes, one getting the assist and the other scoring, which Garnacho and Zirkzee, which in my opinion, that guy has a good future at United if he stays fit. The guy's link up play, come back, link up the play and go back in the box and score. That's good. That's what we need. But I'm a big United fan. What United really need, what will change United, in my opinion, we need a 6. We need we need that Ugarte to come in. If that guy comes in, he's gonna make a big difference in that midfield. Casemiro had a good game, but I don't trust Casemiro. I don't trust him.
It's not mobile, no.
Throughout the whole. I do not trust him. You need a Ugarte, and that a person like Ugarte. The point I mentioned in the beginning about being broken upon, when the opponents have, we lose the ball and it's only 3 against 2. I think Ugarte is a player that reduces those things, because he's a person that that guy's a ball winning midfielder. He's gonna win the ball and just give it back to the team. He's gonna help the ball possession, both in offense and defense. Yeah, it wasn't a great performance. We could have easily also lost that game. Let's be honest. Because there was a 2v1 or 3v2.
Counter. There was one.
Counter where Maguire
what's his name?
Maguire defended.
Yeah,
it was if that pass went through, you could have been looking at a 1-0 right there. And if you're playing against a better team in that situation, more than likely that's a goal. So United still has a long way to go. I don't expect United to be at their best at all. I'm gonna give it to after the international break to really see a big difference. So
okay, you remember when United signed Casemiro? I mentioned what you say now about him being exposed and the quality of players that he has in United. But I'm going to spare him a blush here. From what I've seen and watching other teams, other big teams play, I think it's not just Casemiro. It's the way United play. They expose him a lot. Like yesterday, United was on Friday. You're a little bit more compact, and that's why defensively they were a bit more. So I think United should, or Erik ten Hag, probably have to build it into the front players to learn how to pounce on opponents once balls are turned over. It looks like it's a team where once the ball is lost, the front players believe that it's the job of the defensive players to recover and bring back to them, and this is why that exposure is always there in the middle. I don't know what you think about that, Ogun.
I agree. You know, when I watch, I get frustrated when I watch United. Frustrated, happy that I'm not a United fan, but frustrated for United fan because this is a team, this is a club that has some very good players. At least over the summer, they've started to be sensible in building a squad. Prior to this summer, they were not very sensible in the way that they built their squad. What you said is very true. Somebody like Casemiro, when he played at Madrid, why he was so effective was because he had Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, the likes of them there. Guys that will, all he had to do was collect that ball, give it to them, and they will move and do what needed to be done. And like you said, when the team is on the cosh, those guys work really hard to help retrieve the balls. United, you rightly said, the likes of Rashford and the rest of them do not apply themselves defensively to help the team. Then in the build-up phase, they also do not apply themselves well to be able to create opportunities or create openings for midfielders to take advantage of. So that imbalance is still there. It's still affecting them. It makes Casemiro suddenly look like a poor player when they paid something odd million for him. There's a reason they did that. And when he came in, he proved he was a solid player. So, yes, it lies in the way that the team is being deployed. I still don't get what Ten Hag is doing with all these good players. How come that they are not dominating games? How come they are not consistent? Even if it's not 100% of the game, maybe 70% of the game, be consistent in what you're doing. The consistency, that's what brings dominance, so hopefully we'll keep watching. Now that he has better tools, like Bimsy mentioned, the likes of Mazraoui, the likes of the leagues, and
Zirzke that came in.
Yes.
Zirkzee.
So, yes. So let's see what those guys bring to the table. Again, a note of caution about Ugarte. Ugarte is suddenly, just the way the United fans were sounding about Amrabat before they signed him. It's suddenly the solution to the problems.
I think I'm with you on that one. I saw him in PSG. Not a bad player, but I don't think he's the Messiah.
Yes.
If they play the same way they play,
it's the way you play football, right?
It's going to be
style of play.
problem.
Exactly. It's the style of play, the way you deploy your team.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Style of play and the way we deploy our team. Ugarte will fit in quite well. I don't think he fits in well with that Paris Saint-Germain team. He doesn't.
But
it's just the way it's a style is simply a style of play, right?
But he's about the same thing as Casemiro in terms of ball playing ability.
Yeah, it doesn't have.
He's not far better than Casemiro.
Let me ask you a question. Who's got more legs?
No, of course he does.
Well, you can have legs. Yes.
So does Casemiro have legs right now?
No, not really. No.
Okay, so if bringing in a midfielder that has legs, does that make a difference in that midfielder?
No, but you have McTominay that has legs.
No. But McTominay doesn't play that position. He doesn't play that. That's not his position.
No,
you guys are not United fans.
McTominay in the beginning
was not
the defensive midfielder. It was just that he was moved forward.
He's not a defense. He was never a defensive midfielder. He was never a defensive midfielder. McTominay's best attributes are arriving in the box late and scoring goals, right? McTominay was never, ever a defensive midfielder. Now, he was played there, right, because of his size and physicality. Was never a defensive midfielder. He does not have the traits at all. Zero.
Okay,
McTominay's attributes are more of a 10.
Okay, but look at it this way. Like I said, I get you. I'm not saying Ugarte is not a good player, or he's not one of the best in that position. He can do a job for United. But if United, people like Messi Mount, McTominay, Rashford, like
Messi Mount is never in a 6.
If these guys don't stay compact and because every team.
But let's look at it.
I don't think you're reading what we're trying to say.
Let's look at it this way, right? Let's look at it this way, right? United have played with majority of last season. Right, we did not have we do not have Martinez, we did not have Varane. We played with Maguire, we played with Lindelof, we played with Maguire, we played with Evans, right? The profile of players we played with centre back wise, majority of last season, are defenders that don't have speed. They are low block defenders. They don't push up because they don't have the speed to run in behind. When those balls come in behind, they cannot cover the space behind, right? The biggest issue that United, I'll put this, well, I'll say, what will really help solve a lot of United's issues is having centre backs that can play on the halfway line, right?
Yeah,
so Martinez can do that. The Leeds can do that. That's why the Leeds has been purchased. Euro can also do that. He's injured. If you notice, United are trying to change the profile of center backs when playing. We're also trying to change the profile of fullbacks. That's why we got Mazwari, right? What Ten Hag wants to do is have a ball playing center backs that can push up, that can defend the space. Maguire can't do that. Lindelof cannot do that. Now, once you push up that space, right, you defend from the halfway line. You're now making the pitch more compact, right? And then, right, it's not about like having to run all the way back and run all the way forward, right? Because your team is more compact, right? And then you can press higher, you can and then you can play, and then you can have more of the ball possession, right? That's what United are trying to do by having ball playing center backs that are faster than Maguire and Lindelof that can push up the pitch.
What we're saying here,
it changes the tactics for you.
What we're saying is I understand what you're saying, and you said it when you in your initial submission on this game that United was still exposed. There were still chances for Fulham to score on a counter, and he had the same player. He had the lead for me. I don't think he has space. It's only Martinez and Mascherano that are fast in that defensive line. But
the Leeds has pace though.
But
he's
what
not the fastest, but he does.
Regardless of what this backline does, if your front players don't have the discipline that when they lose the ball, it's their job to start defending from the front. I don't care who you have at the back, you're going to be exposed. Every big team that you see in Europe does that. They are hungry to retrieve the ball from the front once they lose it. And I think that's the major problem that United has. Garnacho doesn't have that discipline. Fernandes does it when he cares, when he likes. Rashford it's not been built into him. Messi Mount has that workaholic attribute, but I don't think he has found his mojo in United. So that's my point. I'm not saying all this thing you're saying is true, but if you don't have that consistency of discipline in those players that play up front, to know that once we lose this ball, it's our job to put pressure on the opponent to retrieve the ball back. The
I agree, but you gotta.
Problem. Then Ugarte will have the same problem that
I agree, but you have to start from somewhere, though. You have to start from somewhere, right? You have to build a squad. Like, you have to start from somewhere. You can't fix everything overnight.
Like yesterday. Okay, let me give you an instance.
You can't fix everything overnight.
You're talking about Mashrawi. I think he had an okay game. I don't think he was exceptional. And what Ten Hag was trying to do most of the time, he invited into the midfield. United, that style of play, it gives you comfort in the midfield, but he have to also deal with covering the spaces. This is what sometimes Arsenal.
Again, Maswari is his first game, though, right? It's his first game. He's never 100% fit. Ten Hag said it.
I'm not saying him. We're just talking about.
He had a good game for his first
points
game,
on the game. So there's like you said, I see a lot to be worked on. But we're just talking about Boom's point is that Ugarte will not just come and fix that problem. It's a systemic thing that you have to understand how it works. It's not just one player, drop one player.
No, for sure. He's not going to fix.
So that's our point.
He's not. Ugarte's not going to fix the whole issues of United. Exactly. No, it's not possible. But he will make a difference in that midfield, just like De Ligt is going to make a difference in the defense, just like Maswari is going to make a difference in that defense. But like
you mentioned, don't forget.
I mean, these are players. You are playing without many
the field 10 times in 5 seconds, but he had the same problem because he wasn't good enough, and because of the structure of the setup of the team. So Ten Hag needs to work on that. For me, I think he needs to work on that structure more importantly than even the personnel. That's what, like you mentioned earlier on, United defense are always exposed once they lose the ball, and for me, I believe it's the discipline.
It's because of the midfield. It's because the fact that United, one of the biggest reasons why we got exposed a lot is a large part of the midfield. We were not tracking back runners, right? If you look at the goal, if you look at there was I think there was one chance where Traore he beat Martinez on that right side, right? Mm-hmm. If you notice, right, he got to the edge of the box, right, and then he squared the ball in. That was how United conceded a lot of goals last season. It was that square ball in goal. But who defended that? Who was the president that defended that last night or on Friday? It was Masrari. He picked up the runner. That's a new player coming in, making a difference already. If Masrari wasn't, I'm not saying Wan-Bissaka wouldn't have done it, but we considered a lot of goals that way last season. A lot of them. But Masrari, a new sign has already made a difference.
Yeah, we'll move on. We'll move to Arsenal Wolves. Another big game yesterday. Wolves, we know, is coached by Gary O'Neill, a very technically brave team. They lost 2 or 3 of their main players. Neto went to Chelsea and stuff like that. So it was always going to be a tricky game for Arsenal. But somehow Arsenal managed to win 2-0. I'm going to take you on this one. It wasn't one of the best performances from Arsenal. Of course, like we know, it's the first game of the season. It's always going to be about 3 points. But Arsenal managed to exert their authority on this one and got the 3 points. For me, one of the takeaways from that game was the left side of attack for Arsenal. Everybody feels that mostly large chunk of Arsenal attack comes from the right side where Odegaard, Saka, and Ben White combined. But yesterday, first half, the Rice had chances to, Martinelli had chances. Zirzkee was on that side as well. Saka was a little bit quiet in the first half. So I don't know, what was your biggest take out of that game?
Yeah, I think what I got from the game was that Arsenal were prepared for the start of the season. I saw, a team that came in and went straight for the jugular, like they did for most games last season. I think their intention is always to try and score within the first 5-10 minutes of the game to make it easier for the rest of the game. They couldn't achieve that, but they worked hard. It wasn't a case of, hey, we came close second last season. Okay, this season, let's just relax and take it easy and build. Nah, they came with the right body language, the right level of intensity, and that's what I enjoyed watching as an Arsenal fan. I could have noticed some rust. Like you mentioned, on the left side, looked better. Martinelli did not have a good season last year. He has started this season quite brightly. I still have issues with Martinelli's end
Finishing.
product. Either finishing or creating opportunities for others.
Others, yeah.
Yes, he tends to keep his head on the floor more than he raises the head, and ends up not creating useful chances even when in really good positions. So hopefully he improves on that aspect of his game and adds. I heard that the 22-23 season he scored 15 goals.
15, yeah.
That was his breakout season. So one would expect that if Arsenal were to aim at winning the league, he would need to match that level of output. As long as he's keeping the likes of what's his name on the bench?
Trossard.
Trossard on the bench. Trossard is very effective whenever he's on the pitch. So yeah, apart from that, generally the team played with intensity. There was good balance. Saliba and Gabriel played well. Raya, when called upon, was quite instrumental in securing a clean sheet in that game and securing the win as a result. Again, I'm a fan of Gary O'Neill. Every time I watch his team, I see a coach that knows what he's doing. Exactly the same with I wanted to mention Kieran McKenna that Bemsey talked about. It's funny that when Kieran McKenna was in the Man United setup, a section of Man United fans were accusing him of being a part of why the team wasn't moving forward because there were too many familiar faces. If I'm right, if I recall, I think Bemsey, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think a section were saying that the likes of McKenna needed to be let go from the coaching crew, and there needed to be a revamp. But he has gone on to prove that he's a good coach. From what I saw against Liverpool, that young man, we need to watch him more because he set up his team really right. So, yeah, that's my initial submission from the game. Arsenal worked hard, like I thought I would say, to earn the right to win the game. You have to earn the right.
Yeah, Bemsy, looking in from outside as a rival fan, and there's this conundrum in Arsenal now, every now and then, is buy a striker, buy a 25, 20 season goal striker. But every now and then, Kai Havertz puts up an argument for himself. Yesterday, he had a very good first half, especially got the goal and linked up play very well, like you mentioned about Zirzke. I don't know. What do you think about Kai Havertz and the Arsenal striking position?
Man, I mean, Arsenal fans, I guess you guys because Kai Havertz scored a goal. I guess he's the answer at number 9 for you now. I don't think that was the case last season, right? He wasn't the answer, but he may all of a sudden be the answer. In my opinion, I don't. For me to see a player as proven to be the answer, I like to see consistency. I've not seen consistency from him over a very long period of time. Yes, he played well yesterday, but it's just game one, right? It's just game one. He did well. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens over the course of the next couple months. But if you ask me, I still think Arsenal need a proven goal scorer. A goal scorer is going to score you 20, 25 goals a season. In my opinion, I think if you guys get that, you're pretty much good. Yeah. I would put you guys favorite. Well, I would put you guys at a better chance to win the title. In my opinion, though. In my opinion, but I mean, you guys really just continued where you left up last season. Played well. Saka, that guy, I wish I had him at United. That guy he's that guy is a wonderful player, man. He's a wonderful player, man. Just continues to do his thing. I would just say to Ogum, I would just answer to Ogum about he mentioned about Kieran McKenna. United fans saying Kieran McKenna is a issue at United. I do agree with you. A lot of United fans did say that. They said that about Kieran McKenna, said about Carrick too as well. They were the two coaches, and it's so kind of funny. Both of them are coaching. Their teams are playing good football, right? It's crazy. Which makes me to believe that if if they can coach this well with players not as good as United players, it tells me what I've always thought about a majority of the time, that the issue at United, the majority of the issue has been recruitment, the players, the way the club's been run. So I don't agree that United have had a good set of players at this club over the past few years, because those two coaches, they've gone on and doing well, clearly. So
let me ask you, like Bemsy mentioned there, I know I've always had this gut feeling that Arsenal is going to sign Victor Osimhen. Osimhen and Gyökeres, who would you prefer them to bring in and why?
Let me answer that question first, but then I'll go back to the argument about striker. I'm more familiar with Victor Osimhen. I rate him extremely highly, mainly because I'm Nigerian and I've seen his body of work. He's a consistent goal scorer. Apart from being a consistent goal scorer, he's a warrior. He's a warrior. He works hard for the team. Technical ability, a bit underrated. Most people think he's just bumbling. Bumbling and walking over defenders and pushing and all that. He also has some decent technical skills, which I believe if a coach like Arteta handles, he'll get even better. On the other hand, I've seen statistics for Gyökeres and they are quite great. I mean, though
he was a very
though under a shorter period, he was able to achieve that compared to what Victor Osimhen has achieved. Osimhen has been very consistent from Lille, even from Wolfsburg, not many goals, but from Lille to Napoli to Nigeria to whoever he joins next. I think will always bring goals, no matter what you say. So, in that sense, I'd prefer Victor Osimhen. But if he's not available, Chelsea is in the conversation, then Gyökeres will be good. Having said that, I will not shed a tear if Arsenal do not buy a centre forward. This proverbial 20-goal centre forward that we're talking about, I don't know how many are available in the market today. Gyökeres scored a ton of goals last season. He's only done it for one season.
And in
Portugal. Perhaps it's only Victor Osimhen. Who else, and Mbappe is already gone, who else is that 20-goal striker that we're talking about?
That's guaranteed.
That's guaranteed. Now, that's one thing. Second thing is, Kai Havertz has done 15 goal contributions
in
the last 17 games.
17 games for Arsenal.
So it's no longer a case of only the first game of the season thing. He has contributed 10 goals and 5 assists in his last 17 appearances for Arsenal. Now, if we judge by that trend, I was reading something online and somebody came and said, forget about the stats. Kai Havertz is not a 20-goal scorer. Forget about the stats.
Yeah,
the stats are staring you in the face.
You know how many goals he scored?
But has he scored 20 goals in the season yet, though? Has he done it?
He hasn't. Okay. Now, playing as a striker, he's never played as a striker anywhere. Remember, he's always been a support striker, like a midfielder. So, I think that Arsenal are in a unique position in the sense that prior to last season, Odegaard and Martinelli averaged 12 goals a season. Last season, none of them got anywhere close to that. If Odegaard and Martinelli were to contribute more goals, we don't necessarily need a 20-goal striker. You see, these things are, it's easy to say all that. But if everybody contributes their share, and I'm saying...
And don't forget that Declan Rice chipped in 7 last season as well, that we never had before.
Yes. So if everybody were to contribute goals, and that's how our team is built.
Arsenal plays. It's funny that,
that's how the team is built.
This. Remember, you guys had a heated argument about this, and you guys were... Like, remember when the season ended, and I was saying that the way Arsenal plays, I don't think Yes, having that striker is good, but the way Arsenal plays, a large chunk of our goals come from the wings. And if Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, and Odegaard can stay consistent, which we know they can, based on the way we play, I don't think Kai Havertz will be the problem. It's just that, like you mentioned, sometimes these players come short. But Arsenal scored 91 record goals last season with Kai Havertz, and he only played well second half of the season as a striker. Like you mentioned, first half he was still trying to fit into the team, playing the midfield. Once they moved him up top, he contributed goals and brought others into it. So if we Kai Havertz, Arsenal got 91 goals last season, and like you mentioned, Martinelli still didn't do what he usually does. Look at they didn't do. Can you imagine if these two players step it up and we Kai Havertz? We could be scoring over 100 goals a season. And then why we need a striker? So
if I were recruiting for Arsenal,
there's no team that doesn't
any money that I will spend on
the right wing,
Osimhen or Gyökeres, I'm going for Nico Williams. For me, he's my dream signing.
Yeah,
give me Nico Williams. Forget about any striker.
Or even bring. They're talking about Coleman in Bayern. There, he wants to go on loan. Bring Coleman to back up Saka. Coleman will give you goals and will also worry on opponent defense, because sometimes. It's not about like Benzi mentioned in there, every team needs a striker, but we have seen teams in the past do it with false nine. And last season, who was striker for Real Madrid?
The thing is, but you haven't won a title doing it the way you've done it.
City did that multiple times.
Yeah, but are you City?
But we're aiming to be.
I'm just asking.
2 points something.
Yeah, but
we're aiming to be.
Are you City?
So
do you guys have Pep?
City would not
have Pep. You don't.
I thought I was 2 points off.
2 points off.
You guys, wait, let me ask you a question.
I'm not saying
do you guys have the squad that Pep has?
That's what we're aspiring.
We are building it. That's what I say.
Okay, so then that's the point. So then you guys see Arsenal fans. Then you guys, Pep did it, but you don't have the squad he has. Pep has true full 11s that can compete in the Premier League week in week out. His second 11 will still get top 4 or close to.
So
I guarantee you, Arsenal put their second 11. You guys will not go smell top 4. Let's be honest.
I agree with you in that sense.
You won't.
Yeah?
But
the fact remains that Arsenal are building. They are laying blocks. You see, there are things we would deem because of stereotypes. We feel that they will never happen. I think for me, I'm willing to give it a chance. I'm willing to give it a chance and see. No, without
striker.
Look at
the team that has won the Premier League 4 times in a row.
Napoli is adamant that the Osimhen 100 million, 130 million. Should you go and spend 100 million to sign Osimhen and pay him?
That's your club. That's you. That's your club.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's no striker available. Don't go sign for
in my opinion. I'll give you an instance. If I was Arsenal, I would spend that money.
I'll give you an
because you have a squad already.
Last season, United went and spent 75 million on Højlund. This is you're going to buy Zirzkee because it's not what you thought. It's not easy to find this striker we're talking about.
That's not it. Look, we cannot pin all our hopes on Højlund. If he gets injured, who else is there?
But he has not even done it. He has not even done it.
Done what?
Proving it, done anything for United as a striker.
How many goals did he score last season?
I don't know. Tell me.
Højlund scored, was it 16, 17 goals last season?
Højlund?
Wait. Yeah, no, Højlund scored about 16 goals last season.
But that's not a bad record, though.
I mean, for a 21-year-old, first time in the league, someone that, come on, and again, United, we are known for not creating a lot of chances. We're not creating chances for our striker.
75 million. Kai Havertz is not even a striker. He had the 15 goals GA last season, and you're still saying that he's not good enough.
Okay. Yeah, but in my opinion, okay. Yeah, yes, I'm not saying he's not good enough, right? But
12 goals.
He's got 12 goals.
Okay.
Højlund?
Yeah.
No, he's got more than 12 goals all season in all competitions. More than 12 goals.
We're talking about
check it well. Okay, league wise, but I mean. No, when I talk about goal scrums, I talk about all competitions, right? I talk about all competitions, not just the league.
Okay, I get your point. To be honest,
but the thing is, Kai Havertz, right? Kai Havertz, he can play that position, right? He's a good striker. Don't get me wrong, right? But you guys cannot pin on your hopes on Kai Havertz alone. You need someone that can come in and equally challenge him.
Not even challenge. Yeah, to be honest, if
even be better
Osimhen is
than him.
available today and affordable, of course, I prefer to have Osimhen as my striker than Kai Havertz.
Obviously,
there's no argument
you guys
about
get
that.
Osimhen,
We're just talking about in reality. If there is none, we can still do it without an Osimhen. Osimhen can still come in.
Yes, you can, but you won't win the league though.
You can bet on that. Can bet that.
Yeah. You can. I'm not saying that you guys cannot do it without a striker. You can, but you won't win the league.
No,
I'm telling you now, you guys won't win the league.
You can win the league. It's just 2
You
points.
didn't do it last year.
It's last season. It's 2 points last season.
2 seasons in a row. Okay, the season before that, Uncle, when you guys were number one till for
the season before, we didn't have Kai Havertz, didn't have the Declan Rice. That's what Gugum is saying. The team is building. We didn't have Kai Havertz.
But you didn't have a striker.
So
but you did
after
it.
That,
you did it without them.
Hold on a second. After that season that the people say bottled it, I think I looked at the team, went and bought Kai Havertz, bought the Declan Rice. People were shouting, what's the Kai Havertz going to come in to do? Don't forget, for more than half of the season, we didn't have Jesus. Then Kai Havertz and the Declan Rice came in, pushed City furthermore, and it was just 2 points. So this is.
But you still didn't win the league. You still didn't win the league.
Hold on, this is in a game. You can say that. You can say that.
Have you noticed one thing?
You guys had control of that league too.
Bemsy, have you noticed one thing? I haven't told you, Bemsy, you're not an Arsenal fan. You know, I tried to make contributions when we were talking about United. The first thing you told me was, I'm not a United fan. I just shook my head. You know, when
I'm sure you don't watch all the games.
So look at how passionately he's telling us about our club. But it's so good. And I'm not saying you're not.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Okay, guys, it was an interesting one. Our time is up. I think we'll come back again tomorrow and do the Real Madrid and the Barcelona La Liga and the Bundesliga as well. It's good to have you guys on the show today. Thank you very much. And Bemsy, I hope we'll do more this season. You know, looking at United is looking a little better. But like I said, it's first match of the season for all teams. Sometimes it's almost like a preseason for everybody. There's still work to be done, and we hope that by the time the season goes, after 5 games, it will be easier. Maybe by the first international break, we'll be able to like come back here and do a kind of the assessment of the teams and the structures and what the coaches are trying to do, try to figure them out and make our kind of expectations or prediction for the season for these teams. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'm really glad to have you.
Bemsy, please come on. I like your idea.
Yeah, definitely. He's a busy man, but I'm paying more.
Thanks, Reggie. I'll try my best to come in as much as possible.
Okay.